Sitting here with Matt Leonard and Andy Greer with Wenatchee City Public Services, preparing, of course, for the first major winter storm of the season. Matt, how do you prepare? I know that you've got some new equipment, and you'd like residents of Wenatchee to know about that and how it's going to affect your ability to keep these streets clear.
Yeah, we just make sure all of our equipment's in running order and the staff's ready to go. We have 5 10-yard dump trucks with plows on them and 5 graders. We make sure those are ready. And we also have a 2,000-gallon deicer truck that's we purchased last year, put into service. We've always had a de-ice brine system that we've been putting down for the last few years, but we just purchased a new truck, and we just got set up with a new making our own brine system. Before we always just purchase it in bulk, and now we can produce that ourselves.
What's the advantage of using the solution that you're using now?
So the advantage of a brine system is you can put it down before the snow event, and it helps things not get slippery. So rather than coming back in a reactive fashion and putting down rock, salt, and sand, you can just put down this brine system, and it'll keep the roads from freezing up initially. And you can use a lot less product in the long run. And kind of one of the major reasons for doing what we did and making our own brine is just cost savings.
Okay. Also, people driving around the Wenatchee Valley obviously see the stripes in the roadway, and that is the deicer chemical that's being applied. About how many miles of streets do you have to work with here in Wenatchee during the snow season?
So I believe we have about 112 centerline miles of streets in the city.
Okay. Now, Andy Greer, of course, is kind of heading up that process and getting the trucks out early here in Wenatchee to get those streets cleared. So walk us through that process.
Correct. So right now we've got we run a night crew and a day crew. A couple guys on night for patrolling. We'll also have them spread the deicer at night or anti-icing. As we prepare for the next winter event, all shifts will go to 12-hour days. So we'll work 24-hour shifts, 2 shifts of 12s, usually 5 teams of 2. And for the most part, we'll hit those 115-ish lane miles of main arterials and collectors. And then once those are clear, we will move to our residentials.
Okay. So obviously, residents of the city of Wenatchee can do their part. Of course, there's an ordinance that requires that they keep their sidewalks cleared, right?
Correct.
So,
that is correct.
How about cars that are parked along the street? Does that cause a problem for your crews?
Yeah, we've learned to deal with them, but it is an issue as the drivers try to maneuver in and out of the cars. It'd be wonderful if the cars could be moved off the road so we could get the snow wrinkle clear over to the curb, but I know that probably is not the answer for everybody, as they probably don't have the parking. But another issue would be is just we'd ask that people just don't throw the snow back out into the road. I know that we do create a berm in front of people's driveways, and we try to keep those to a minimum, but we do have to put the snow somewhere. So.
Andy, good luck and stay safe out there. Getting back to this deicer chemical, Matt, does this have any detrimental effects on vehicles out there that people should be aware of?
Yeah, I mean it's salt, so it's going to have corrosive properties to it. But we, like we were saying before, we can use a lot less of it, and so people are going to, when they see that and they're driving on that, they're going to want to make sure they wash their vehicles regularly, and there's really not much you can do. I mean, it's kind of a public safety issue, right, with trying to keep the roads as safe as possible.
Good deal. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Very useful information for all of us during this winter season. I'm Steve Hare for NCW Life News.